The HALPIN Centre for Research and Innovation at NMCI is named after Captain Robert Halpin. Halpin from Wicklow was an Irish master mariner, marine engineer and visionary who played a pivotal role in connecting the world's continents via submarine telegraph cables, in effect ushering in the telecommunications age. Halpin's pioneering work at sea and his innovative problem-solving abilities inspired us to name the centre after him. The HALPIN Centre is a dual-fuel organisation in that we are the Maritime Research Centre for the Cork Institute of Technology and we are the research and innovation arm of the Irish Naval Service. The HALPIN Centre has enjoyed significant success to date. As we speak, we have 10 full-time researchers employed. We're involved in 14 significant funded European projects.
DARIUS is an EU-funded project. Basically, it is the control of unmanned systems in search and rescue both at sea and on land. These unmanned systems means that you're not putting your first responders at risk. At sea, for instance, if there is an explosion in a chemical tanker, you need to find out whether it's safe or not safe to put in your firefighting team from the ship. By putting these unmanned vehicles close to the ship with sensors, you can determine what gases are in the air and whether it's safe to send in your teams. In the NMCI, we simulated the maritime trials using UAVs and USVs, that's unmanned air vehicles and unmanned surface vehicles, which were trialled in France. These trials went off very successfully, partly as a result of the feedback from the simulation that we did of the trials earlier in the year.
The HALPIN Centre is currently running a project funded by Europe's Northern Periphery Programme. The project is called SMACS and it stands for Small Craft Emergency Response and Survival Training for Arctic Conditions. The objectives of the SMACS project is to create a library of training modules to be used by training providers for small craft Arctic mariners. The training modules will be created here in NMCI by the HALPIN Centre and by our partners in Norway, Sweden and Iceland. The success of the SMACS project is mainly due to the HALPIN Centre's use of its simulators developing different scenarios for small craft mariners and its development of e-learning tools.
Currently, one of the projects we're involved with in HALPIN is the Lean Wind project. This is a Framework 7 transport project which is looking at how to achieve efficiencies around the deployment and installation of large-scale offshore wind farms. HALPIN's involvement in the project is we're going to be using simulation to look at matters around the staging of equipment in ports, getting that equipment from the ports onto vessels and getting those vessels efficiently out to the deployment site. The use of simulation in Lean Wind is very, very important because it enables us to look at scenarios in simulation which we couldn't possibly do in real life, for example in ports or on vessels. And without simulation, which the HALPIN Centre from NMCI is providing to the project, it would be impossible to look at some of the things we will look at in the project. It would be extremely difficult to do others. So simulation, the facilities that we have here being some of the best in the world, allows us explore ways of doing various operations which we couldn't otherwise do. We have a very exciting future ahead of us. The Centre is growing rapidly, working with our colleagues in the Cork Institute of Technology and with our colleagues in the Irish Naval Service. We have ambitious plans around both growing our engagement in European research, but also working with Irish startups, SMEs and Irish engaged companies to develop new products and services in the maritime space, and we're also looking to get involved in activities internationally.